It's a terrific honour to be conferred with this degree. It came out of the blue, and I thought, wow, what a privilege, and thank you to all those people who've nominated me. Well, it's another link for me with Wolverhampton, because although I was a Walsall lad just over the border, I spent quite a lot of time in Wolverhampton as a youngster, because I had uncles, aunts, a granny who lived in Penn, several cousins. They've all moved on, as they say. I've still got a cousin though in Penn, so I'm very familiar with Wolverhampton, and I spent a lot of time here really when I think back, because my father always used to come across here to go to a tailor's here in Queen Square. This is when I was a little lad, and then we'd go and have a fish and chip supper above in a restaurant, and then we'd go across to the Grand Theatre for the panto, and it was always a fabulous day for me to come to Wolverhampton. The highlights of a 50-year career in television. Gosh, where do you start? Well, I suppose the biggest highlight was getting the job for a start, and I was very lucky to get into it at a great time of news gathering. Of course, in those days it was all on film. Now it's all digital. The changes have been absolutely enormous, but I've had the privilege of covering some very big stories over the years. Some of them, of course, have taken me to Wolverhampton and so on. And it's a privilege to actually address an audience and grow to know that audience somehow over that period of time. You really do feel as though you know your audience, and in turn they feel as though they know me. So when they say hello to me in the street, I feel as though I'm talking to somebody I know really well. It's lovely. When I was at school, which I didn't do terribly well at, I couldn't wait to get out of school. I think partly it's because it was the 1960s, and everything was going off in the 1960s, and I thought, oh, school's boring, I can't wait to get out. Interestingly, I had no idea what I wanted to do when I left school. I just wanted to leave school. And I did manage to get a job, first of all, in civil engineering. And my father, who was a school teacher himself, he was very pleased about that because he was worried about me. But actually, I only stuck that for about a year because I knew it wasn't for me. I had to make the change. And I dropped into journalism. I had friends who were journalists, and I thought, gosh, they've got such an interesting life. And I started off in journalism, and I realized that it was where I wanted to be. It was everything I wanted from a job. It was being curious about life. It was just enjoying the camaraderie of working on newspapers, and then of course in radio and television. I have loved the life very much. What do you say to a young person who doesn't know what he or she wants to do? I think have a very open mind for a start, and don't be afraid to change. It worked for me. I went down one particular corridor, it didn't work for me. I changed and got into something that I really wanted to do. I think the thing is that nowadays you're going to be in work for a very long time. In fact, the way the pension age is moving, you're going to be in work for a very... So you must do something you really enjoy. And that's so important. You don't want to be hacking away at something that you just think is a bit of an okay job. Do something you enjoy. And I think the rest will probably follow on. If you do something you enjoy, you'll probably be very good at it. You'll probably make a pretty good living.